Lasting from 1046 to 256 BCE, the Zhou Dynasty was the longest lasting and one of the most powerful dynasties in all of Chinese history. Today, in the land of which the dynasty occupied is now modern-day provinces such as Shanxi, Shandong, Henan, Nangsha, Anhou, and Hebei, which is where Beijing is located. Notice how none of them have Qing Chong in it. So with further ado, let's get started.
Our adventure begins in the 12th century BC, when the Zhou saw the last king of the Shang dynasty as a criminal tyrant who gave himself over to wine and women. Because of this, they did what all the cool kids back in the day used to do: behead him! England. After this, the Zhou dynasty displaced the Shang and became the big boy dynasty of China. In order to justify this action, the spokesmen of the Zhou dynasty created some principles. Their theory rested on the belief that earthly events were related to heavenly affairs. The heavenly powers granted a special individual, the Son of Heaven, the right to govern, called the Mandate of Heaven. His job was to maintain justice and harmony within his realm. As long as he did it, and heavenly powers would accept his work, the cosmos will be in harmony and stability, and the dynasty will still have its mandate to govern. However, if the Son of Heaven failed at his duties, his realm would turn into chaos and suffering, the cosmos will no longer be balanced, and the unsatisfied heavenly powers would give the mandate to someone else who is more deserving. Holy Shang Dynasty!
Anyways, moving on from that Lord Xenu stuff, the Zhou Dynasty was big, like very big. About as big as Trump's ego. Anyways, because of this, a central court could not govern everyone, so they had to rely on a decentralized government and trust. They trusted that their subordinates owed allegiance and support to the central government. This system was going well for a while, but things started to change. Over time, people started to drift away and obey the central government less. Yeah, I wonder how that turned out. But anyways, the introduction of iron didn't help, and the Zhou kings were unable to control public access of them, leading to the strengthening of the subordinates. They started strengthening their own armies, states, weapons, stuff like that. But anyways, in 77-1 BCE, the dynasty got invaded by a bunch of nomads. None of the subordinates really wanted to help the king, and because of that, the dynasty weakened. However, it was not the final nail in the coffin. Oh no, we still have like one more left. Anyways, during the period of 406 to 221 BC, the states were way too strong, which caused them to fight each other in a period known as the Warring States. States like the Chu challenged the Zhou to its supremacy. This ultimately led to the end of the Zhou dynasty, when the last king gave up his position to the king of Qin.
Chinese society was mostly led by hardcore grandpas. During the Neolithic times, only Chinese men had the political authority, but they could only gain it if women granted it to them, so they could have like equality with gender, or something like that. There was specialized labor for the people that worked exclusively for the privileged class, and their lives were fairly good. The upper class got to enjoy the glory of bronze, which was used for weapons, plates, pots, cups, and more, while the lower class only got clay. Aristocrats got elementary education and they learned about good manners. Peasants owned no land, but they worked for their master in exchange for protection and food from the harvest. So like slavery, but it's slightly nicer, but not really.
The Zhou dynasty was full of culture. Their writing system was not pathetic, for it contained symbols that represented objects. For example, a drawing of a dog meant, believe it or not, a dog. Wow. The writings were mostly used for the rulers for politics, but later expanded for different uses such as poems, rituals, history, and entertainment. Yep, ain't nothing like reading a book filled to the brim with symbols. Now does that make it a picture book or a novel? The people of the dynasty also believed in myths which explained the world, but they did not have systematic religious traditions. They also believed in their dead ancestors having special powers, so they often did rituals to honor and respect them, similar to Coco, but Asian. Believe it or not, the Zhou invented the crossbow, a bow in the shape of a cross. You get the gist. Not only this, but they also used iron and bronze for weapons.